What happens if you build a team made up entirely of Wonderkids? Every single one rated below 73 overall, and you drop them straight into the chaos of the EFL Championship. Welcome to Isle of Man FC, a brand new club created for one purpose: to see if a squad of pure potential can rise from the Championship all the way to the Champions League. Here are the rules. Every player ranges from 58 to 73 overall. We can't sign anyone else. No transfers in, no free agents, no youth academy surprises. We're on ultimate difficulty with competitive mode turned on. Because this is a long-term experiment, injuries are turned off. Most positions only have one backup. Most of our players sit in the mid-60s, and while not all are elite Wonderkids, everyone fits our system and has a unique playstyle. Our home is Crovan Park, a small but proud stadium named after Godred Crovan, the Norse Gaelic king, who ruled the Isle of Man nearly 1,000 years ago. Just like him, this team stands for ambition, resilience, and a little bit of rebellion against the odds. Our colors are red, white, and black. Alternate jerseys will be green and tan for the island's rugged hillsides. Our mission is to climb from the Championship to the Premier League, and one day lift the Champions League trophy. No superstars, no shortcuts, just raw potential, youth, and belief. But belief needs a leader. Enter our gaffer, Coach Fatty. Some managers show up in tailored suits. Ours prefers sweatpants. Mourinho is the special one, Klopp is the normal one, and Fatty is the comfortable one. But comfort does not equal complacency. Let's see the team he's got to work with. We're lining up in a 4-3-3 attack to take advantage of our midfield's solid passing and control and our speed up front. Speaking of our front line, starting at left wing is Liverpool Wonderkid Rio Ngamoa. Crazy change of pace and technique. Right wing is Barca Wonderkid Rooney Bargi. Promising Swedish talent, and deadly with the ball at his feet. Up top is Japan and NEC's Kento Shiogai. We'll be trying to find gaps where he can use that great pace to blow by the back line and finish off runs for us. Because of this, he should be our top bagsman by the end of the year. In the engine room, we've got Isaac Babadi at attacking mid. PSV Wonderkid, great dribbling and passing. Our offense is going to run primarily through him. Behind him are City's Fair Naipan and PSV's Taigo Land. Naipan will be playing mostly holding midfield, but he will advance if given space. We'll be looking to use Land in a playmaker role, but he will also be switched to a box-to-box role if the matchup dictates it. At left back, we've got Yaimar Medina. He'll be playing forward in possession and making overlapping runs. At right back, we've got Kiriani Saab. He'll be playing in a more inverted false back position. At right center back is Real Sociedad's John Martin with the aerial fortress trait. And left center back is captain Luka Voskovic. What these two lack in speed and agility, they make up for in strength and positioning, so they'll be sitting back most games. Fusco also has a long ball trait, so he'll be looking to drop in diagonal balls from time to time. Starting in goal is Matteo Upolo, Belgian prodigy. This guy is known for keeping clean sheets, even setting a record in the 24-25 season in the Belgian league. Our bench is full of spark plugs, wild cards, and fresh legs. A few notable players are Bayern's Lennart Karl, Louis Ben Farhat, Jaden Adai, Loren Ulrich, and Johan Gadou. Now without further ado, let's get into the action. Our first match of the season is home against Bristol City. They're lining up in a 3-4-2-1, which means we'll be relying on our fullbacks and wingers to find space and draw their central defenders out. I want to pause right now and say, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please excuse the poor video quality in these early matches. I updated my recording settings later in the season once I realized how crappy these videos were coming out. This season was wild, and I felt redoing it would have been dishonest. I promise toward the end of the season these videos are extremely crisp. Here's an example, so stick with me if you can, and all future videos will be in this resolution. Now back to the action. Straight from kickoff, we get it down the left side to Rio, who hands it off to Naipan, drawing their right center back out. Naipan cuts back inside and lays the ball off to Land, who finds Sabe making an inverted run. He finds Babadi in the box, and an extra pass leaves Kento just enough space to place the ball past the goalie, giving us an early 1-0 lead. Bristol does a great job of breaking down our defense, working the ball down the left side and drawing our fullback up. They're able to find the space behind him. At this point, our defense is looking shaky, and Saab looks lost. He gets left in the dust here, and the extra pass leads to a shot at the near post that we save. Barely holding on to the lead in the 31st minute, Bristol are on the attack again. Their formation completely overloads the attacking half, and just like that, we're outnumbered 6-7 in our own box. Luckily, they attempt an ill-advised cross into the box, which Medina clears to Rio. We're out on the counter, and we have the numbers. We leave it off for Naipan, who gets it into Babadi. Babadi leaves it for Kento, who draws a center back, leaves it for Bargi, who finishes it beautifully for his first goal of the season. These types of goals are exactly what we had in mind when we built this team. Kento with a goal and assist already in his debut, and Babadi at the center of everything. Into the second half, and Bristol are working down the left wing again, targeting Saab. This time, they get a nice pass inside to Berg, who walks the ball toward goal, drawing our defenders up and leaving it for Knight for an easy goal. It would end up being a consolation goal, however, as our backup attacking mid Carl picks up the ball at the halfway line and sees a ton of open space, keeps the defender on his back, and once he sees we're overloaded on the right, he dishes it to Bargi, who leaves it for Kento. Kento goes across the face of goal, and we'll take 3 points from our first game of the season, 2 goals and an assist in his debut. This guy's looking like an absolute monster. A few games into the season, and clearly we're having no trouble scoring goals, but we're conceding way too much, and that sees us in 7th place. We aren't panicking, however. This team is literally built to improve exponentially as the season progresses. Round 3 of the Carabao Cup sees us against Sunderland. Though we'd love to make a cup run, our main goal is still promotion. Let's see how our boys do against the Premier League side. We're giving some of our second-team players some minutes, trying to play a more defensive backline with Vettel Egli at left back. We've also got our backup striker, Bon Farhat, playing a playmaking role at attacking mid, as he's yet to make an impact this year behind Kento. It doesn't take him long to get into the action. As straight from kickoff, Land receives the ball, makes a great turn and enters the space. He fires a shot that's deflected straight to Bon Farhat, giving him a goal in the 2nd minute. We're in the 15th minute and barely holding on to this lead. Sunderland are working the ball down the right wing, drawing out our left center mid, Ulrich. Gadu has to come out to apply pressure on the ball, and Granit Xhaka leaves it for Matete, who makes our backup keeper work for this save. After that nervy defense, we let things settle a bit and try to build up from the back. Gadu passes to Egli, but we see at least 7 defenders on this side. We aren't getting through down the left. We pass it to Gadu, who uses that long ball pass trait to switch field to Adai. He starts to put on the burners before holding up and telling our backup right back Benita to make a run in behind him. Adai hits Benita in stride, and a bit of luck helps this pass get through to Bon Farhat, who makes the extra pass to a wide-open Kento. It's 2-0 before half. 10 minutes till half, and Benita gets absolutely deked, leaving our box wide open. Martin just can't keep Matete in front of him, and he finds space to fire. Keeper should do better there, but we have to do a better job defensively as well. We'll head into halftime with the lead, but still a ton of more work to do if we want to see this game through. We're into the second half now. Rio shows some flashes of brilliance here on the run down the left wing, breezing past defenders, all the way into the box. He can't get it back to his favored right foot, and the shot is horrendous, so we'll have to settle for a goal kick. The keeper decides to go long, and it looks here like they might have a step on us. Looking to make up for his earlier mistake, Benita absolutely bodies the winger to win the ball. He gets it upfield and immediately starts his overlapping run. He's on his bike, and Adai is sealing the defender for us. Once in the box, he just gets his pass off to Kento, who sneaks it past the goalie, gives us a 3-1 lead. Our goofy-ass lion mascot is absolutely loving what he's seeing from this Japanese lad. 5 goals in 3 Carabao Cup games, and no slowing down in sight. We're on a counter-attack, and Adai finds Kento, who leaves it for Rio, who makes an insane touch to make it 4-1, and we're absolutely running away with this one. The icing on the cake comes when our third-string striker rips a piss missile past the keeper to make it 5-1. Sunderland may not be a top Prem team, but this performance will definitely give us confidence that we can compete with Premier League talent. A shoddy clearance before stoppage time gives Sunderland a consolation goal. It's 5-2 at the final whistle, and our fans are loving what they're seeing. We'll advance to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup after a commanding team performance that saw 4 different players find the net. Fast forward to mid-November, and we're 3 points off first place Stoke City, with our matchup against them approaching. After stumbling through the end of November, we've dropped to 5th, making this game all the more important. Unfortunately, in perfect EA fashion, this is one of those games where a backup player decides he needs to play, so we'll have to make do with our backup keeper today. The matchup is set, the lads are hungry, and we want to make a statement. It's the age-old question. We're aiming for Champions League glory, but can we do it on a cold, rainy night in Stoke? They're in a 4-2-3-1 formation, so our best bet is to try to stay disciplined and not lose sight of the lone striker. They have an advantage in the midfield, but we'll be looking to catch one of their fullbacks or CDMs out of position. When we do intercept the ball, we're going to try to transition quickly and hit them on the counter. Just a few minutes into the game, we can see they're really committing a ton of players forward when they first push up. Stoker on the attack again. We nearly give the ball away for a goal in our own box. Luckily, this commits 4 players forward, and we're able to clear the ball to Bargi, gives it to Babadi, and makes a run down the right wing. Our spacing is key here. Even though Stoke have the player advantage, their alignment is way out of sorts. Tago cuts inside, Rio draws the fullback in, and that leaves Naipan a free run into the box. 1-0. In the biggest game of the season, Naipan gets his first goal. Not even 10 minutes later, Stoker on the attack. We're pressing high to try to win the ball back, and they make a defense-splitting pass right through the center of the field here. A couple step-overs is apparently too much for our defenders to deal with, and this give and go with a brilliant touch past our center back is enough to score off the rebound. We're all tied up after 25 minutes. One thing I've yet to mention about Vuskovic is that he's an absolute header machine. As we can see, he puts this one away in the 35th minute to give us a 2-1 lead. The fans are loving it, and that's 5 goals and 19 appearances in the league, all coming from headers. Once again, we'll head into half with a 2-1 lead and a lot more work to do. We've got some space on this counter. We look to get the ball up to Babadi, who gets dispossessed. Before we know it, Stoke are on their own counter. Naipan whiffs on that tackle, and we're completely out of sorts. They get it down to Medina's side, passing the ball back and forth to try to find space. We're desperately trying to keep the ball in front of us. Medina tries to cut off the defender, but mistimes his tackle, and Martin runs right by Bosnick. They score. It's 2-2, game on. This is where we decide to get some fresh legs in. We'll be putting Carl in for Babadi, Bonfarhat back in his striker role, and Ulrich in for Naipan. After an uneventful 20 minutes, we've also put Benita in for Rio and Adai in for Bargi. Off this save, we get it down the left side to Medina, who has acres of space. A one-touch from Carl to Benita sees us really starting to unlock this Stoke defense. Benita stays patient, cutting inside before finding Carl drifting into the box. Carl takes one touch and hammers this one top bins. Our backup attackers linking up like that is always a good sign, as Carl stacks up his 4th league goal in only 9 appearances. Coach Fatty trying to settle his players down. We've got a 1-goal lead with 15 minutes to play, and it's not over yet. Straight from kickoff, Stoke look completely unfazed. We're trying to apply pressure on the ball here, but they're remaining calm, making sure to move the ball around to disrupt our defense. A lob ball in behind Adai catches us completely off guard. We're out of position, and a quick entry pass gives just enough space for the game-tying goal. Not only are we letting this win slip away, but now they have the momentum. We're on the back foot. We're just before stoppage time. Stoke has been asking questions. We're desperate to make a stop, so much so that we're lunging at tackles. We're honestly playing sloppy as hell. This almost comes back to bite us, but our keeper makes a diving save that could surely save us a point. We get the ball to Vuskovic. He switches field to Adai with a great diagonal ball. Adai stays patient. With only 2 minutes of stoppage time left, this is surely our last attack.
And he's finding it. Coming in field now. And it's opened up. Oh, can you believe it? With so little time left, surely that'll be the winner. Stunning scenes here.
Against the run of the game, against all odds, we find a way to win. The next round of the Carabao Cup, we match up against another Premier League side in Bournemouth. I decided to try to play this game in full manual passing, and quite frankly, it ended up being a nightmare. Defensively, there wasn't much issues, other than trying to clear dangerous balls, and I found that the standard X or A passing was actually a lot better. But the through balls were impossible to get right. The first 89 minutes of the game saw no goals, but a ton of chances coming from both sides. We were definitely creating more early, but we were having a hard time hitting our players in space, and Bournemouth had the momentum late. We held them off until stoppage time, and we have possession down the left wing. Rio cuts inside and hands it off to Babadi, who lays an insane guided through ball to Adai in behind the defense. Another stoppage time winner. At this point, I'm honestly starting to get worried that we're using up all our magic early in the season, but we'll take the cup win. 26 league games in, we see ourselves at the top of the table. Southampton just 2 points behind. We match up the game after next. We end up simming and lose our game to Charlton while Southampton beats Hull City. So we're now in second, just 1 point behind, heading into the clash at St. Mary's. We'll need to keep Adam Armstrong quiet. He's the league's top scorer. If we can't contain him, then we'll have to do what we do best, score more, because right now, we're the highest scoring team in the championship. Looks like they're running the 3-4-2-1, which is one of our favorite formations to match up against because of the speed of our fullbacks and wingers. We'll be unchanged in our 4-3-3 attack. After an uneventful quarter of an hour, we're on a counter-attack. We miss a streaking Bargi here and see him too late, but notice Naipan in his half-winger role drifting down the left. He lays a perfect guided ball for Kento, who easily takes the chance to make it 1-0. Going into this game, he was on 16 goals, and he ties Armstrong for top goal scorer in the championship with that one. We've got an early 1-0 lead in a heavyweight top-of-the-table clash, and we need to keep our feet on the gas if we want to see this one through. Once again, we're out on the counter. Land sees space and carries the ball to the halfway line. This time, Babadi sees the streaking Bargi, and the pass is weighted perfectly. 2-0 after a clean finish. The amount of players involved on each attack is not just a great sign for our offense, but it also ensures all our players are progressing to their full potential. We could be looking at Premier League next year, and we need the overall ratings to compete. Babadi's been piling up assists, and that through ball is one of the reasons why. Southampton would get a few good looks at goal, but overall, our defense has been really solid. Into the 70th minute, and we're getting some fresh legs on to try to close out this game. The Saints get the ball into the box, and it looks like they might pull one back, but it goes wide right. That would end up being their last chance of the game, and we hold on for a pretty easy 2-0 victory. We're now top of the table, 28 games in. We've got less than half the season remaining, and we're in a great spot. But the job's not done. Quick stat check, and we can see that Kento is lighting it up. Vuskovic has 9 goals, all headers, and Babadi has an insane 19 assists in all comps. One thing I've noticed as the season's gone on, as our players grow, you can see it on the pitch. Games that used to be battles are starting to feel routine, even easy at times. And now, we step into a match that is anything but routine. The second leg of our Carabao Cup tie against Manchester United. We lost the first leg to a very soft, late penalty. One of those calls you see and still can't believe it was given. It was a cagey 1-0 match. This one was the complete opposite. We're at Craven Park for the second leg of this Carabao Cup semi-final, and make no mistake, we are the underdogs. But this squad has already proven they compete with bigger sides. They've handled tough fixtures all season and come out on top. We're taking on one of the giants of English football, but as good as these players may be, they're not invincible. Amorim lines them up in his patented 5-2-3 formation. This is essentially a back three with how high the wingbacks tend to play, so the game plan remains the same. Draw at their center backs. 15 minutes in, and United are looking to capitalize on some shoddy defense. Saab gets caught sleeping, Gadou can't recover, and we're down 2-0 on aggregate early. Cunha with the goal, and this could turn out to be a very long day for us. Just a few minutes later, and United are on the break again. They smell blood, and Cunha makes a great move inside before getting cut off by Gadou. It's cleared to Bargi, and we look like we have space, but Dorgu takes a tactical foul and gets a yellow. After playing the free kick short, we try to find Babadi in space. He takes a couple nice touches and gets his pass off to Bargi, who can barely hold off the defender for this shot. Keeper saves, but we aren't going down without a fight. Off the corner, we try to get the ball to Vusko, who rattles it off the bar. United have a tough time clearing it, and it ends up at Land's feet. He finds Naipan in the box, and we knock it around until we get a great shot for Rio, who puts it in. Rio's season has kind of gone under the radar. He's performed well enough, especially in the Cup, but a huge goal like that is exactly what we want to see, especially considering he has the highest baseline potential on our squad. It's 2-1 on aggregate, and there's a ton of game left to play. We're trying to take advantage of the momentum and press the ball high here, but Dorgu finds a passing lane out. Cunha sends it to Menu, and before we know it, the ball is at Bruno's feet. He walks it straight down the middle of our defense, gets it to Cunha. As fullback, we pull off him, but Gadou lets him walk straight into our box. For some reason, he doesn't shoot, and we breathe a huge sigh of relief. And then Bruno does that. What an absolute gut punch. We already needed another goal, and that defensive error means if we want to advance, we'll need 2. Luckily, time is on our side, and we're not going to waste any of it. As straight from kickoff, we're in attack mode. We get the ball to our favorite playmaker, who links up well with Naipan before firing on goal. An awkward rebound, plus some tenacity, and we cut the lead to 1. Even without Onana, United can't seem to shake these keeper blunders. 3-2 on aggregate, it's game on. 4 minutes of stoppage time, and we're trying to sneak one in before half. We have a great chance with Bargi here, who pushes it just over the bar. We'll head into halftime with mixed feelings. We've played well, but are still behind. Tying United is almost always a positive result, but that 1-0 loss in the first leg may come back to haunt us. Just minutes after kickoff, United are already trying to close us out. They drop a ball in for Sesko, and we're as surprised as anyone that this isn't given as a pen. Gadou clears to Rio, who cuts right inside and tells Kento to make a run. Kento has one man to beat. He ends up taking a pretty heavy touch, but he's not missing this.
And it's there. He's put that one away very nicely indeed.
9 goals, 7 cup appearances. At the start of the season, we had no idea this guy would be this good. It's all tied up on aggregate, and the momentum is definitely on our side. United looks shaky straight from kickoff, and we're looking to use our lone striker Kento to pressure the ball. He uses his speed to cut Bruno off, and just like that, we're back on the attack, searching for a winner. Babadi pulls Delict with this run, and leaves it for Rio. Another heavy touch, but Rio slides toward it to put it home, giving us a 1-goal lead on aggregate. The mighty Manchester are crumbling at Craven Park, and that gives Rio 5 goals and 7 Carabao Cup appearances. Once again, we try to settle our players down, as we still need to close this one out. It's been a very back-and-forth game. Both teams have had tons of chances. We've gotten lucky on a few balls, caught United out on the break, but we don't want to get into a late shootout with these guys. They can control possession much better than us. At this point, we decide to make some subs. Kento will come off for Bonfarhat. We're going to put our backup left winger, Bonita, at his secondary position, Can, and Carl at right wing. Babadi has had an incredible game, but is running out of legs. Because United play a back five, Bonita's speed will help us a lot more in the center of the pitch, where there is more space. And Carl's control will allow us to get out of tough situations on the outside. With nearly half the game still left to go, we'll be playing defensively, but still looking to break on the counter every chance we get to try to seal this one. 30 minutes to play, and United are attacking down the left wing. Manu breezes past Saab before cutting it back to Dorgu. Land went in to help, and this leaves a ton of space right outside our box. Bruno chips it into Sesko, but our backup keeper comes up clutch. Biggest save of his career so far, and Amorim can't believe they haven't scored there. We'll get some more fresh legs in here, as Rio comes off for a die, and Ulrich will come in for Land. We're officially out of subs. We whiff on a tackle down our left side, and United have space to enter. Mazraoui walks the ball up, under absolutely no pressure. They ping the ball around, and we don't know which way is up. It's officially squeaky bum time. Medina steps up to Manu here, leaving his assignment for a potentially game-saving tackle. Before we know it, we're on the counter. Let's pause right here. We have a 2-on-2 on the left with Lissandro Martinez in front of us. Bonfarhat is marked by De Ligt. We see that both Carl and Ulrich are central. Carl is marked by Bruno, while Ulrich has a free run into the space. We can also see that Adai, one of our fastest players, has a potential lane if we can pull this center back forward. And United have completely congested their players, forward and center, meaning Saab can get involved as well. If we can get it to Ulrich, we have a 3-on-3 with downfield momentum, and space to make something happen. And that's exactly what we do. Yoro comes forward, but Adai doesn't quite have the lane. Saab makes an inverted run, and a lovely flick leaves Carl a chance at goal, which he takes. It's 5-3 on aggregate. Not only are we dominating United, but we have a 2-goal cushion with only 20 minutes left to play. We had virtually no cup aspirations at the start of the season, but if we can hold on, we'll be playing in the Carabao Cup final. We're into stoppage time after our 20 minutes that saw few chances on goal. United takes the goal kick long, and we're in good position here, but Sesko wins the header. With Fusco now out of position, United find an easy lane to Lenny Yoro of all people. And just like that, they're only 1 goal down. Luckily, Yoro celebrates like he scored a screamer in the opening minute of a World Cup final, wasting tons of time. If only he showed this cardio while trying to mark Kento and Rio. Instead, he takes a scenic tour of Craven Park as time ticks down. Final whistle blows on one of the highest scoring affairs of the season, and we've done it. We've announced ourselves as the footballing giants of England, stared them in their face, and got the win, even while being a goal down on aggregate going into the game. Midway through March, and we're on a great run of form, with the Carabao Cup final versus Chelsea up next. We'll have a huge matchup versus Arsenal in the FA Cup next month, and we're currently top of the league with only a month and a half of the season left. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but with a bit of luck, we could end this season with more than 1 trophy. Our main objective has always been promotion. That's the priority. Anything beyond that is a bonus. Believe me, we are not looking past this Chelsea squad. But let's see if we can make some history. We're at Wembley for the Carabao Cup final. The $1 Billion Blues versus the Mad Lads of Man. 1 final, 90 minutes, and nothing to lose. Chelsea is in a 4-2-3-1, which could give us some problems. Usually we try to stay patient to catch them out of position, but this Chelsea team is much better than us, so we will need to take some chances. Once again, our formation and lineup is unchanged. Within the first 10 minutes, we're already having a tough time finding any openings. Chelsea have one of the best midfields in the world, and we run our offense primarily through Babadi in the middle. They turn us over here and quickly get it upfield. We're able to contain the initial threat until they find Gittins on the left. He doesn't even need to make a move to get around Saab. Martin steps up to slow him down, and Saab recovers to force a corner. Not exactly the start we wanted, but Saab seems pretty pleased with himself, so that's nice. Chelsea decide to go short on the corner, and Saab is really feeling himself, cutting off Neto before getting fouled on the clearance. That's 1 attack dealt with, but I'm sure there'll be plenty more coming our way. Just a few minutes later, and we actually find some space for Babadi, who's streaking down the middle. Kento holds for a moment, and Babadi drops a perfect ball behind the defender. He fires from the edge of the box, and keeper makes a great save to keep it level. If we want to hang around in this game, we have to capitalize on opportunities like that. Nothing comes from the corner, but luckily our defense is remaining solid. We get a quick outlet off this turnover, and work the ball into Babadi. This is where we do our best work. Land spots Bargy making a run, but he goes just a bit too early and it's offside. Tight one, and we're a bit unlucky there. Once again, we're out on the attack. We see Cucurella pull up and drop it off to Taigo. We've got a 3-on-2 down the right side. A heavy touch from Babadi drops the ball right in Caicedo's lap, and Chelsea are quickly back on the break, pushing the ball forward. It's taken out wide, dropped off to Neto on the right wing. He cuts inside and Medina tracks until we're able to switch onto him with Tygo, but it's already too late. Chelsea score 1-0. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of these videos is trying to understand where things went wrong or right, trying to either correct or duplicate them in the future. I have no idea what we could have done better this play. It's just a great goal by Chelsea. A couple minutes later, and we're back in possession. We're clearly rattled and starting to lose focus a bit offensively, firing from deep with Naipan. The rebound comes to Rio, and he's trying to find any space available. This heavy touch makes us think they're going to gain possession, so we go with a standing tackle, which is the same button as the shoot button, and end up with an ill-advised shot. Once again, the ball is given to Neto, and Chelsea are quickly transitioning, looking for another. Neto uses his speed to breeze past Naipan, but luckily Medina has one of the highest paces in the game. Awful challenge, and Neto has a free run into the box. He shoots at an awkward angle, and it's saved for a corner. We defend set pieces fairly well with Vusko in the center. Sometimes some of our best attacks come from counters off corner kicks. Let's see what we can do here. Enzo swings it in, and Vusko is able to clear it, though we're not out of the woods. Caicedo heads it to Palmer, and Colwell has a free shot on goal. It's 2-0 before half, and our cup dreams are looking bleak. I think we defended this well, just one of those goals where the momentum of our players toward the ball took us past our opponent. The missed tackle from Naipan didn't help either. Not much else in this half, so we'll head into the break down 2. Lot of game left. A few minutes into the last 45, and we're out in the break with Babadi. We don't really see a clear option here, so we carry it as far as we can and hit Rio on the inside run. Once again, nowhere to go. We give it back to Babadi, but Chelsea are just too strong for us. Keeper clears it, and it ends up right at Martin. We have another chance to get on the board. Bargy cuts inside and dishes it off before getting back out wide. We work the ball back out to him, and we're trying to stretch the defense as much as we can. Nothing doing. We bring it back central, but get a little too complicated and fancy here, and that's where our attack ends. Luckily, our defense in the second half has been equally as solid. Saab cuts off Cucurella here and decides to carry it himself. He tells Bargy to make a run, and immediately we can see we have the numbers. We just need to wait for the center back to stop the ball. When he does, we drop it behind for Bargy, who lays a nice cross for Rio, and that would have been the goal of the season. Let's rewind. We for sure had better options here. Kanto and Babadi have one guy marking them in the middle. This was a panic cross, and even though it ended up with a shot, this may come back to haunt us. Next time, we'll try to lay it back to Babadi and drop it in for Kento, or try to place a pacey through ball directly to Kento. Either way, we move forward and try to do better next time. 20 minutes to go, and we're on a break. We find Kento up top, who can't get by inside, so he swings it to Bargy. We probably should have tried to get this ball inside to Kento, but we find Naipan streaking and get a solid shot that's deflected for a corner. Time to bring some subs in. We'll have our entire midfield swapped out for Carl, Ulrich, and Stur, while Gadu will come in for Martin and Adai will come in for Bargy. First kick of the ball for Carl is this corner he delivers to Vusko, which is right on target, but cleared off the line by Caicedo. Today is not our day. A couple more close calls defensively, but our defense is holding strong. 10 minutes left and it's do or die. Carl is linking up well with Adai, who swings this cross in toward Kento. All he can do is head it down to Carl, but the shot is blocked, and it's cleared directly to Stur. Stur makes a man miss and fires the shot, but the keeper is all over it. We'd have one more chance to make something happen here, but we make the wrong decision with this through ball, and Chelsea are able to clear the danger as time expires. Even though we didn't win, we have to be proud of our team's performance. Going into this game as huge underdogs, we created some chances and did a decent job defending, but ultimately we lost to the better team. Time to focus on promotion. We sim our next league game versus Wrexham and end up losing, so we only have a 4-point lead now. We have Swansea next, who currently sit in 15th. As much as we'd love to lift the championship trophy, once again I want to repeat our only goal this year is promotion, and right now it looks like we've got it on lock, so we decide to live life on the edge, sim this game as well, to get to our FA Cup matchup versus Arsenal. Even going down a man, Swansea beat us, so not great, but we aren't too worried. Time to lock in for the FA Cup. Arsenal is arguably the best squad in the world, along with great depth, so we're going to flatten out our formation a bit by pulling our wingers backward to try and stop their speed on the outside. While our fullbacks would normally support in the attack by inverting or overlapping in possession, we're going to try to play them in the traditional fullback role. If we're going to win this game, it'll start with our defense. We've got home field advantage in this one, and nothing to lose. These games may be rare this season, but if we get promoted, we'll be facing teams like this week in and week out. We have to be able to play to their level. They're going with a 4-3-3 holding, and it looks like they're using their A team. We've got 90 minutes to make a miracle happen. Not much action in the first half, but a couple key moments. Gyökeres finds a shot on goal, which our keeper saves. We had a big opportunity here, with Bargi finding space behind. We see Kento, but we're worried about the pass getting cut off, and decide to fire. Good save, out for a corner. As we always do on corners, we try to get it to Vusko, who pushes it just wide. We'll head into halftime level, holding Arsenal to only one shot on goal, but not having many attempts ourselves. Maybe we can make something happen in the second half. Not long into it, we turn Arsenal over, and Naipan receives it from Medina. He splits the defense to find Babadi, who drops a beauty in for Kento. Kento takes the right touch, and we have just enough time to line up a shot, but Raya outstretches for an incredible save, and we'll get another corner, which Vusko can't put enough power on. We find ourselves on a break, with Taigo pushing the ball up and telling Rio to make a run. White comes forward, and we drop it to Rio, who flicks it on for Kento. We take it first time, and Raya makes another save. Just a few minutes later, and Arsenal have the ball in a dangerous area. Saka receives it on the right-hand side, and patiently waits for an opening. He flicks it to Rice, and they ping it around to find an open Odegaard.
And there it is! The deadlock has been broken!
Just like that, we go down 1-0 late in the game. Odegaard coming up big for his team once again, with his third goal in 4 appearances. Honestly, Arsenal made an absolute mockery of our defense here, passing it around at will, drawing out our defenders exactly as they planned to get a wide-open chance. Let's see if some fresh legs can turn this thing around. Bringing on Bon Farhat, Carl, and Adai. We'll shift Babadi to center mid in place of Taigo as well. Off the turnover here, Naipan hits Rio on the outside. Bon Farhat makes a run, but Mascara is closing in. He's able to muscle his way through, fires on goal, but it's saved, and Carl is a touch late on the follow. Zubamendi breezes by our defense for the shot, but our goalie makes another huge save. We'd have another chance to make something happen here, as Rio and Carl link up, which leaves Bon Farhat free in the middle. We maybe could have touched this onto Adai, as we can't even get the shot off. Our mascot should probably turn around and take a look at the scoreboard. Oh, there it goes. Surely our final possession of the game. We get it into Bon Farhat, who finds Rio streaking. Just can't convert. Raya has been unreal today, but we have a do-or-die corner and one of the best target men in the league in Vusko.
Let's see about the delivery. The final whistle then, and Arsenal go marching on.
Inches away from extra time. We'll get knocked out of the FA Cup by the mighty Arsenal. Can't really complain about the result. We must have had at least 5 or 6 great chances on goal. Holding Arsenal to only 1 goal is an achievement in itself, whether you're a championship team or a Premier League team. 1 month left in the season. Including cup games, we've lost 4 in a row. The league is still in our hands, but we hold only a 1-point lead. We're going to sim up until the match against Preston North End. They're our chosen rivals due to their proximity to the Isle of Man. Doesn't go very well. 3 draws from 3 games simulated has us sitting in second, 1 point behind Leicester. We've gone 7 games in a row without a win in all comps, and this might be the biggest bottle job of all time. 1 more simulated game to go before the Preston matchup, and we have Derby County to finish out the season. Luckily, we're facing Blackburn Rovers, who currently sit in 22nd going into the match. No turning back now. This result is crucial if we want to go up. Babadi is able to get one to go in the 18th minute, and Bon Farhat seals it in the 89th for a huge 3 points. Leicester are able to get the win as well, and Ipswich are hot on our tail. We need to separate ourselves from the promotion playoffs. Fatty knows he's in the hot seat, and we need to finish out the season strong. What better way to do that than a late season matchup against our rivals? They're in a 5-3-2 with a holding midfielder. Super defensive setup, but the 2 strikers up front do concern us. We haven't played many teams with 2 at the top. First possession of the match for us, and we look dangerous. Babadi gets a golden chance here, and nearly scores. Great start. We can't convert the corner, and Preston boom it downfield. Medina wins the header, and Babadi finds Rio. The 1-2 from Kento to Babadi, and we're already on the attack again. Kento's hit in stride, and he finishes it off for a great team goal. Babadi with another beautiful assist, and that Babadi to Kento connection is something we've seen a lot of this season. You can tell we came to play today, as Saab finds Taigo, who lays a dime for Kento. It's just him and the keeper, and Kento just hits the post. Just a few minutes later, we clear the ball after a defensive stop. The ball falls right into Taigo's lap, with Bargi streaking down the right side. He's able to outpace the defender, takes a nice touch, and slides it right under the keeper. 2-0 after 13 minutes, and we could have had 4. Any concerns we may have had going into this game have quickly been erased, as right now, we're playing like we're going up. As the half wears on, the early spark is fading. Preston have possession, and have been asking questions of late. We can't get enough pressure on the ball, and they're able to easily work it inside to pull one back. That one was a little too easy for our defensive standards. Oddly enough, it's also nearly an exact replica of the goal Arsenal scored against us. Once again, Preston are able to stretch out our defense, specifically our midfield. They get it into the box, and the shot is just wide. Another great passage of play here from Preston. Asab overcommits on this challenge, and Ipolo has to make a diving save. It's out for a corner. Small swings this ball in towards Soko, who has Medina sealed off, and it rattles off the crossbar, but Martin's there to clear the danger. We're into first half stoppage time. Saab gets juked out of his socks here. The ball is worked to the top of the box, and a clever rollover opens up an opportunity. Preston plays some ping pong, and Ipolo once again has to stand on his head. The corner gets cleared, and the whistle blows for halftime, in what's been an up and down game. We started off extremely strong, dominating the opening 20 minutes, but an onslaught of Preston attacks has us on the back foot. The first 10 minutes of the second half saw little to no action. We're in the 54th minute, and Rio receives the ball down the left wing. He crosses it into Kento, who leaves it beautifully for Bargi, and that's a gorgeous finish. 2-goal lead in the second half of this derby, after a goal that involved our entire front three. About a half hour left in the game, and we're bringing on some fresh legs to seal the 3 points. We're going to give our CDM Momoko some minutes at center back. We'll bring Ulrich and Karl in at center mid, Bonita at cam, and Adai at right wing. Straight away, an awful decision by the keeper gives Rio the chance to intercept this ball. He gets it into the center, and Bonita fires a shot on goal. It's deflected right to Adai, and he scores within seconds of being on the pitch. This is not the first time Adai has scored immediately after being substituted on, as he's been our most valuable super sub of the season. Looks like we've got this game in the bag. Preston would pull one back here, but with only 12 minutes left, we aren't worried. They've had a few chances, but we're 2 goals up. It's not like they're going to come down 6 minutes later and score.
And they've scored. This isn't over yet, but they'll have to be quick about it. One more needed now.
That's not good, and now we're worried. It's okay though. All we need to do is hold on to the ball and let the clock run out. We'll just make easy passes to kill some time. Shit. Honestly, not sure why we tried that pass. But it doesn't matter. We need to defend. We accidentally run away from the ball here with Saab, and they have a great chance on goal, but our keeper comes up huge with the save. Gets her fingernail on it for the biggest save of the season. Corner comes in, and Preston can't get good contact on it. It's out for a goal kick. 5 minutes of stoppage time, and Preston have one more attack, but it's defended beautifully by Saab. We'll get it upfield to run out some clock, but we see we have time to put the nail in the coffin with another goal. Saab carries it all the way before lofting the ball into the box toward Bonita. He flicks it for Rio, but it's hit wide. Doesn't matter either way. We've come out on top in the biggest game of the year so far. A derby that could decide promotion for us. With 7 goals between the two teams, you can say the fans definitely got their money's worth. Taking a look at the table after the results, and we're in a good spot. We still trail Leicester by 1 point. With the final match of the season approaching, the only way we don't get automatic promotion is with a loss and an Ipswich win. There's also a scenario where we draw and Ipswich win by 10 goals that would see us fall into the promotion playoffs, but we aren't too worried about that. All we have to do is get the win and we're guaranteed promotion. And if Leicester stumbles at all, we could even get the championship title. As stated before, we close out the season away at Derby County, who sit in 20th. Leicester are away at Blackburn Rovers, who sit in 21st. Both are just out of the relegation zone. It's a classic last day of the season, where every result matters, and every team will be fighting tooth and nail to secure the last available points. Kento will definitely be looking to secure the Golden Boot today, but the most important thing is that we either win or draw. The team is all set. Time to lock the fuck in. Looks like it's going to be a dreary one today at Moulton Road. The rain is already coming down, but our fans are out in droves to see us potentially lift the trophy. Derby's going with 3 at the back, which is a positive for us. We usually play our best football against the back 3. We'll be sticking with old reliable, our 4-3-3 attack. No more time for talking. Let's see if these youngsters have what it takes to gain automatic promotion to the Premier League. The heavy rain really made this a sloppy one, and both teams struggled to maintain possession early. Kento just couldn't get that pass through for a great chance to Naipan, and Derby now have control. Bargi does well to win this ball back in a great area. which opens up some space for a shot for Kento that's saved. Bargy swings in the corner for Vusko, who just can't connect, but it's an awkward clearance with a pass back that definitely should have been called. Thanks, EA. We're on another attack when we get an update on the Leicester game. Blackburn have gone a goal ahead. If that result stands and we get the win, we'll be having a trophy ceremony, but we need to convert one of these chances first. After clearing a Derby cross, they claim possession and find space in the center, but the shot is deflected out for a corner by Martin. They fake a short corner and swing it in, which we easily clear, but we just don't have anyone at the end of it. Before we know it, they've got the ball in our box with one defender to beat. Luckily, they miss wide, and we're able to escape with a goal kick. Later on, we turn Derby over and find space for Babadi. He gets it up to Kento, and the defender tries to cut us off with a horrendous slide tackle, giving us just enough time to line up a shot. Nice save by the keeper, and we'll end up getting a corner that we just can't convert. Half an hour in, and we turn Derby over again. They're playing an insanely high line, so we get it to Rio on the counter, who draws their right center back forward. Babadi hits Kento, who draws the defender right, leaving a free run for Rio down the left side. He takes his time to line up the shot and buries it. 1-0. The 17-year-old scores a go-ahead goal that could guarantee us automatic promotion, and if results stand, win us the league. Great build-up play from Babadi and Kento to create space for this one, and Rio slides it home, easily. Next Derby possession, straight from kickoff. They work the ball down the right side and send a booming cross in. The ball is hit well into a dangerous area, and we just can't clear it out. Brewster makes a great turn, and just like that, we're back level. Really poor defensively from us, though it should be said these are not ideal conditions for defending. A draw would still guarantee us promotion, but we don't want to leave anything up to chance. One more slip-up, and our Premier League dreams are up in the air. We're just before halftime, and Babadi draws one of their three defenders forward. Looking at all this space we have, you can see why we love playing a back three. Rio finds Kento, who takes it all the way into the box, but keeper makes another great save. Whistle blows for halftime, in what's been a sloppy, high-paced game. Many chances for both teams, but we definitely feel like we've gotten the better of Derby so far. If we can convert one more opportunity, we can breathe a little bit easier. Derby start the second half, working the ball into our box, but the final pass is intercepted by Saab. Martin booms it downfield to Bargy, who makes a great pass into our midfield before starting his run. Land holds up play to allow Bargy to cut in behind the defender. He finds Kento in the center, but keeper makes another great save, and again on the follow. Kento just can't sneak one by today. That's his fifth shot saved by this keeper. Tygo swings the corner in for Vusko, who just can't steer it in, but it lands at Martin's feet. 2-1. The only goal of the season for our right center back, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Absolutely bonkers that this is the guy that scores the go-ahead goal. I mean, look at his finishing stats. If this isn't a sign that we're destined for the Prem, then I don't know what is. 30 minutes to go in this one, and after a defensive stop, Saab tries to clear the ball, but Derby turn us over at midfield. They carry it into space before passing it into the box. Some wonderful footwork allows Weeman to get by Martin, and Ipolo has to make a great save. We can't clear it, and Johnson hits a lovely volley that brings Derby back level. Just once, I'd like a game without drama, but here we are. As things stand, we still have automatic promotion, but our defenses look shaky at best. We'll bring on some subs, as Tygo will come off for Ulrich, Carl will come in for Babadi. We'll be putting in our super sub Adai for Bargy, for some speed on the outside. The best defense for this team has always been offense, and with less than a half hour to go, we want to get one more goal for security. However, before we know it, Derby are already on the attack again. Brewster holds the ball up with some step-overs, and finds Adam streaking, but it's an easy save for Apollo. We see Carl in the middle of the field with space and get it to him. He draws a center back covering Kento, and finds Rio, which leaves Kento a wide open lane on goal. Finally, Kento gets one past this keeper, giving him his 27th goal of the season and giving us a 3-2 lead late in the game. He'll get a standing ovation from the away end as Bonfarhat takes his place. We'll also be putting Gadou in for another goal scorer, John Martin, to get some fresh legs defensively. Just after the subs, we get an update from the Leicester game. Looks like they've drawn level, which makes that Kento goal even more important. We get a good chance for Bonfarhat here, but another good save by the keeper stops the nail in the coffin. Again, Derby have possession and look dangerous. There's 10 minutes to go, and we can't forget, they're fighting against relegation. They're not going to go down easy. A quick 1-2 catches us off guard, and they nearly level it again. Great extension by Apollo there. We're in the dying minutes of the game, and Derby worked the ball into the box yet again, but Apollo is able to deflect it out for a corner. They'll swing it in, and Langus is in a great position, but Apollo once again makes a potential league title winning save. Despite the high scoreline, both keepers have been unreal today. Just look at the reaction time on this save. 0.2 seconds, and he's able to knock it out for a corner. Next corner comes in, and they can't get a good head on it. It'll be out of bounds for a goal kick. With 4 minutes of stoppage time showing, Fatty's got his butt cheeks clenched until that final whistle blows. Stoppage time was full of lost possessions by both teams and no real offensive build-up. We tried to hold on to it here, but turned it over in the center of the field, giving Derby one last chance.
Could they take advantage here? Time's starting to be the enemy now. And that is it. All over here and all over for the season. They are the champions.
Full-time celebrations as we hold off Derby County. Final results elsewhere ended up in our favor and will lift the EFL Championship trophy. A team full of teenagers and future prospects was able to conquer England's second tier and will be battling the giants of English football next season. Before we move on to next season, let's take a look at our top players this year and see not only how they rank statistically amongst the rest of the league, but how much their overall ratings grew compared to where we started the season. As we can see, Kento and Babadi missed out on Player of the Season to Adam Armstrong, despite Kento having 4 more goals and only 1 less assist and winning the league. Kento would lead the championship in goals with 27, followed by USA and Norwich's Josh Sargent. Shout out to the red, white, and blue. The next highest scorer for us in the league was Loai Bonfarhat, with 14 goals in only 27 games. We might be looking to get him some more game time next year, especially in the cup games. Babadi led the league in assists with 16, and Rio was right behind him with 10. A bit lower down the list we'll see Tygo Land, who did a great job spreading the ball around with 7 league assists. Outside the league, our top performers remain pretty much the same. Kento had a great season with 39 and 9. Ngamo and Babadi will get double-digit goals and assists, with Babadi having an unreal 12 and 27 season. For our bench players, Carl, Bunita, and Adai also had fairly respectable stats, considering their limited game time. Now let's take a look at our ratings progression for each player to see what we can expect going into the Premier League. Ipolo is still our highest rated player at 79, growing 6 points from his 73 overall. Owusu Odoro, our backup keeper, gained a solid 4 points despite not getting too many games. Vetelegli went up 3 points, and Yaimar Medina went up 4, to make him a 74 overall. Shin Min Ha also only went up 3 points, so he's not quite ready for the Prem yet, but we'll definitely use him in cup games. Kudu got a solid +4 to make him a 70 overall, a great backup defending option, but our captain Vusko got a +5 to make him a 77, a really solid center back for the Premier League. Martin's +4 has him at a 72, a lower end rating for a starting Prem defender. Benita is sitting at 68 after a +4 season. Decent, but not great for a backup right back. And our starting right back Saab is 75 after also going up 4 points. In our midfield, Amoko and Stur are both 67 after +3 seasons. Naipan only went up 4, but still solid at 73 overall. And Ulrich's +4 sees him at 69 overall. Nice. Tygo is at 72 after also going +4. And Carl again will gain 4 points to make him a 67 now. Babadi's insane year gained him +7, and he now sits at 74 overall, ready to make an impact at the next level. Backup attacker Bunita jumped from 64 to 68, while our starting left winger Rio had a massive jump of +8, from 68 to 76. Bargi's solid year saw him grow 6 points to 75 overall, and Adai jumped 5 points, from 67 to 72. Bonfarhat is up to 69, which we hope to get higher because that just isn't good enough for a backup striker. And despite Kento's great year, he also only gained 5 points and is sitting at 71 overall. Lastly, we've got our third string striker, Lovelace. Not much game time for him, saw him only gain 3 points overall. Now you may have noticed that there's a bug in career mode, where players may not renew contracts ever. And right now it says none of my players are willing to negotiate at this time. Luckily, I've signed them all to 5-year deals at the start of this save. So there's a new, unplanned aspect to this challenge. Can we take this team, full of prospects and prodigies, to Champions League glory? And can we do it in only 5 years? Make sure to like if you enjoyed part 1, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss part 2, where we take on the Premier League and try to win a European spot. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.